A new day dawns in Denali National Park. The rising sun paints the 20,320-foot mountain Athabascan Indians called DENALI. It means the High One. As this mountain reflects the sun's golden rays, light soon shines over all of Denali National Park. Here in Alaska's interior, a busy summer day begins in one of the most glorious settings imaginable. Denali National Park is one of the crown jewels of Alaska. It stretches over 6 million acres, an area the size of Massachusetts. A single 90-mile-long road bisects the park, stretching from the park entrance to Wonder Lake. Only the first 14 miles are paved and can be driven without special permits. This area is actually one of the best places to see moose, the largest of the 37 mammal species found in the national park. Beyond 14 miles, it's a dusty gravel road which is closed to private vehicles. Most visitors see the park from aboard one of the shuttle buses or tour buses. Visitors should plan on taking at least a day to see the park aboard one of the buses. The land within Denali Park is as varied as it is big. Mile after mile of vast treeless tundra, broad glacier-carved valleys, forests of white and black spruce, and the lofty peaks and glaciers of the Alaska Range. The Alaska Range stretches over 600 miles, dividing south-central Alaska from the interior. This is the Denali Park of mountain climbers, granite peaks and snowfields that stay in the perpetual state of winter. The official name for this peak is Mount McKinley, named in 1897 after William McKinley, who later was elected President of the United States. Flight-seeing trips take passengers to the 10,000-foot elevation. From here, God's majestic creation stretches in all directions. An amazing world of rock, permanent snowfields, and ice hundreds of feet thick. Several glaciers emanate from this lofty birthplace, stretching their fingers toward the foothills. Some of these glaciers are visible from the park road. This is the 35-mile-long Muldrow Glacier. Its snout is covered by rock and debris and plant life. Glorious Mount McKinley, Denali, is a sight to behold. Its status as the tallest peak on the North American continent tells only half the story. Its vertical relief of 18,000 feet from the lowlands to the summit is greater than any other mountain on Earth. Denali National Park was established in 1917, not because of the amazing mountain, but to protect and preserve the wildlife, notably the Dall sheep. Before they were protected, thousands of Dall sheep were hunted and killed by market hunters who would sell their meat at mining camps and town sites in Alaska's interior. Today, these all-white sheep roam in bands and are usually found in high, steep places away from predators. This is a nursery group, several mothers and their lambs feeding on the herbs and grasses. The lambs will usually stay with their mothers for a year, sometimes longer. Except during mating season, mature males and females live apart. These rams are foraging on the steep slopes above Sanctuary River. A fully mature ram like this gentleman might weigh 160 pounds and stand 3.5 feet tall at the shoulders. Both the male and female sheep grow horns, which are made of keratin, the same substance in human fingernails. While the female horns stay relatively small, a mature 7- or 8-year-old ram might have a full curl. Although sheep prefer the high land, sometimes their migrations take them to the valley floor, a dangerous place where they might be attacked by wolves. This ram group is making their annual trip from wintering grounds to their summer home. They seem to be nervously calculating their next move. After several minutes of watching and waiting, they decide to take the chance of leaving the brush for the open tundra. Willow ptarmigan are year-round residents of Denali Park. In the winter, they are camouflaged with practically all white feathers. But this male ptarmigan now sports his attractive new mating plumage. As each spring day comes and goes, the forests and tundra echo a new sound, the songs and mating calls of migratory birds. They come to this region from remote lands around the world. Long-tailed Jaegers arrive from the southern Pacific Ocean. The Arctic warbler travels from Southeast Asia to bring his song to Igloo Canyon. Least sandpipers winter across the southern United States, but this pair is summering near Little Stony Creek. As many as 159 species of birds either nest in or migrate through Denali Park. This pair of common loons is fishing for lunch in a beaver pond near Wonder Lake. Spring marks the arrival of birds and tourists. The park has several campgrounds for tent campers and motorhomes. There are very few maintained trails, but plenty of places to explore on foot.
My name's Sue, and it will be about an hour to hour and a half walk, and we're just going to go up the river here just a bit. Not covering more than a mile, but just taking
This
our
group
time
is getting ready for one of the organized nature hikes in the Toklat River Valley.
If we do see a bear in the distance, and I hope everybody helps kind of keep their eyes open with me, all of you can help that a lot, is if we would just turn around and go a different way. That happened to me actually yesterday hiking out a sow and 2 cubs, which is the most aggressive you can get probably of bears, and we just changed our path. But if a bear does see us, does everybody know what we do? And this is funny when a bus comes by, right? Hey bear, hey bear, and anybody see anything right there?
Oh, it's a caribou. Caribou.
Caribou, right? You can see the kind of a horseshoe shape, curved. We'll probably see some better ones of caribou. And that movie I was talking about, how you play in your head, we've a couple things that have happened here that I've never seen, but some of the other co-workers have seen a wolf chasing a caribou here in the Toklat.
One of the favorites on the daily schedule is the sled dog demonstration. Here you can meet the sled dogs of Denali. In the winter, park rangers will take these huskies on backcountry patrols. But today, they are content to rest in the sun or other canine pleasures.
Any words you can tell.
Well, when we're out on patrol, there's certain equipment that we always carry as well. One thing is snowshoes. We've never gone on a mushing patrol without snowshoes, and that's because if the trail is hard packed, the dogs can run over it, no problem. They can make good time. But if the trail is deep, powdery snow, the musher has to break trail, has to put these snowshoes on, has to go out in front of the dogs, pack down that trail, and then the dogs can run over it.
Huskies have played an important role in Denali Park since its creation. Now, it's time to watch them run. While there's never a guarantee, Denali is one of the places in Alaska that you are most likely to see a grizzly bear. The grizzlies of Denali are somewhat smaller than their coastal cousins, the brown bear. The main difference is diet. While the brown bears feast on protein-rich salmon, the bears of the interior are mostly vegetarians. The grizzlies do their best to store fat the hard way, with a limited menu of roots and grasses, and berries in the fall. From spring to fall, they forage almost non-stop under Alaska's summer sun. Summer in Denali is always about preparing for next winter, and the bears must store enough fat to last them throughout their long winter's nap. It's always exciting to see a grizzly. The buses which carry visitors along the park road always stop for grizzlies. A bear sighting can create quite a traffic jam.
Three cubs. 3 spring cubs.
Denali is not a zoo. These bears are wild animals. But they've become accustomed to the daily visitors and don't seem to pay much attention to the oohs and ahs from excited tourists. Small herds of caribou are frequently sighted along the Denali Park Road. In the spring and early summer, they look a little worse for wear as they shed their winter coats. Caribou are the nomads of the north. in some cases migrating thousands of miles. Denali has a caribou population currently around 3,000 animals. Seeing caribou roaming this tundra reminds us of the wildness of Denali. Caribou are the only members of the deer family where both male and female grow antlers. Antlers of a female stay relatively small, but that's not the case with adult males. By fall, their impressive racks will grow to lengths of 5 feet. A handy tool, perhaps, when it comes to scratching the hard-to-reach places. Caribou, it seems, are always under siege by biting bugs. They seek relief in places less buggy, the gravel riverbeds and patches of snow. One of the most abundant mammals in Denali National Park is the Arctic ground squirrel. Their abundance also makes them a frequent prey of grizzlies, red fox, and wolves. This wolf is hunting for squirrels along the park road. He trots along at a steady pace until the telltale call of a squirrel leads him to its burrow. This hunter will dig and claw at the tundra until he finds his prey. Wolves in Denali are rarely seen, so this is a real treat. This wolf wears a radio collar for tracking his movement. The wolves of Denali have been continuously studied and monitored and enjoyed by tourists for over a half a century. They are protected from hunting within the park's boundaries, but conservationists fear that hunting and trapping outside of the park threatens entire family groups. Wildlife watching is one of the favorite pastimes for summer visitors here. Sometimes the animals make watching and photography easy. This fox has decided to take a nap in the shade of the Eielson Visitor Center. Within Denali National Park, you'll find a complete subarctic ecosystem, including more than 650 species of flowering plants. In season, the tundra canvas is painted in glorious colors. These delicate plants have adapted to interior Alaska's short growing season. They are subjected to summer's incessant wind and winter's bitter cold. but against all odds, they thrive on a thin layer of soil above the permanently frozen ground. Although they are small in stature, it is these flowers and plants, the mosses and grasses, that sustain the largest of Denali's wildlife. Everywhere you look in Denali, you witness the miracles of nature. It is a parkland of inspiring beauty, a wild and pristine natural treasure protected for all time.